Hello and welcome to the Graceful Pen Studio. Hi, I'm Anjanice Rawls. If you're not already familiar with me, I'm a calligrapher. I draw flowers, I do engraving, I paint, and I love making handmade items such as handmade cards. I'm so glad that you found my channel, and I hope that you'll take some time to slow down and create something that inspires you or something that you can share with someone else. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Welcome. Today, we will be making a Father's Day card using cardstock warehouse papers, and we'll be using Star Dream Bronze, Star Dream Antique Gold, Color Plan Chartreuse, and Woodstock Blue Intenso, and then Materica Pitch Brown. The cardstock I'm using is cover weight, so they're between 100 to 105 pounds. I'll also be using dies by The Greetery, shelved and shelved details. So let's get started. To make this card, we'll need a paper trimmer. We'll also need a scoring board. We'll need an embossing stylus and a bone folder. I'm using the Woodstock Blue Intenso as my card base. I'll be trimming it down to 7 by 10 so that I can score it at 5 inches and fold it to a 5 by 7 card. Now that I've scored it at 5 inches, I'm going to use my bone folder to create a nice crisp crease in my 5 by 7 card. I'm going to trim down this pitch brown Materica paper to a smaller size so that it's just enough for the book die. The first die cut uses the shelved die set by The Greetery. And here's our beautiful set of books. Next, I'm using the Star Dream Antique Gold, and it's for the decorative pieces that are for the books. If you're anything like me, when you're in your craft room, inspiration hits you just because you're there. So I had the wonderful idea to go ahead and cut the books out again using the Star Dream Bronze. And then I'm going to pop out a couple pieces out of the pitch brown Materica so that the bronze can show through. You'll see here in a moment what, and I don't know, it just adds some depth to this book set, and I really like it. Now that both sets are cut, I'm just finagling both layers to make sure they line up the way I'd like them to before I use score tape. Now I'm using the Barely Arts Precision Craft Glue and a tool picker to add the small accent pieces that I cut out of the Star Dream Antique Gold to the books. When I finished that, I went ahead and die cut some of the shelved details. I just chose a few that I preferred to add details to the books, and I'm just kind of finagling with them to see what layout I like best. They've not been adhered yet, but can you already tell how much depth this is going to add with the color contrast of the shimmer and the matte paper and the different shapes? It is going to be so gorgeous. I can't wait to see this finished. Now I'm adding foam tape to the finished layers of the book, and I'm going to adhere it to the base. Look at all these details. It's so beautiful with all of the various shapes, the textures of the shimmer and the matte. meshing together so gorgeously. This is one of the reasons why I love making cards. It just allows me to slow down and see the beauty of paper. And now I'm using Ferris Wheel Press fountain pen ink, and this one has some shimmer, like a bronze shimmer. It's called Embers of Time, and I'm going to pen the words, Dad, you're the best. This color plan chartreuse cardstock is so wonderful. It was easy to write on, no ink bleeding or anything, no smudging, and it's the perfect weight. And I just thought it would be the perfect way to add a pop of color to this card. Using a thin strip of foam tape, I added it to the back of this sentiment to create some added dimension for the card. In case you can't tell, I'm a shimmer kind of gal, so let's take a moment to appreciate the shimmer. And I just love how I found the perfect ink for this sentiment. Let me share the inspiration behind this card design for Father's Day. So I grew up watching my dad as a pastor and as a professor at a Bible college. And those memories that I have of him teaching and writing on the board, the chalkboard, and preaching every Sunday and teaching Bible class and so forth, they have made such an impact in my life. And he always had tons of books everywhere. My mom would always joke about how she decided to stop cleaning up his mess. We're going to put that word in quotation marks because I'm a creative person, so sometimes my mess is my happy place, and it might seem like a mess to someone else, but to me, it's just, where I have all of my things and I know where everything is. So here on the book details, I'm just going to write a few words that I think will really bring the books to life. So I wrote Holy Bible because of course, I've always seen my dad with the Bible as a pastor, and just thinking about some of the books that he would study, I'm going to use a micron, or I used a micron for the darker lettering, and then a Uniball Signal pen, white pen for the white lettering. When I first bought this die set, I envisioned the books being a wonderful focal point for the card, but I never could have imagined how it would have turned out. Seeing this come to life, as I was working and being inspired throughout the whole process was just a wonderful way to honor those meaningful memories of my dad and make something tangible that preserves those memories. I really hope that this inspires you to create something of your own, whether it's this design or something completely unique. Just, make something that makes your memory special and something that makes someone else happy. Be inspired to create. Thanks for watching.